Hey and welcome to this video. I'm George from the channel Untraveled Roads. For everyone new here, let me say welcome to this community of adventurers and travelers. Summer 2021 I decided to completely change my life and to travel around the world full time. During these travels, although I realized that I'm really missing the ability and the freedom of moving around however I want and being completely independent of any transportations like buses, airplanes, ships and whatsoever. And also I realized that I'm not seeing as much of a country as I want and as I could. That's why I decided to change the way how I travel around and to use a bike instead and make it my home. After I spent the last few months in the Canary Islands, I went back to Lisbon where my home base is to get rid of my apartment and most of my belongings. Right now I'm here in Austria, in Vienna, where I ship my bike and my equipment to, and I prepare for the biggest adventure of my life. I plan to bike the next few months through Europe. And also I have a separate project planned where I want to climb the highest peaks of every European country. And I want to combine these two projects. So the next few months we will bike through Europe, learn about the diversity of the different countries, meet inspiring people, and of course we will climb the highest peaks of all the countries we pass through, and we will make all this on the bike. I have only a few weeks left here in Vienna to prepare for my adventure, and this means every day or every week is crazy packed, from planning to training to making some adventures in between, back to planning. And I want to take you 1 week with me, share all this stuff with you, share with you how I train, how I plan, what kind of equipment I take with me, and also most importantly where we are heading to. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please give a thumbs up, that supports me and my channel. And if you want to discover Europe by bike together with me, learn about the diversity of this continent, learn about traditions and the people, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you so much for watching. So let me show you my bike. It's from Rose Bikes, the Backroad gravel bike with a carbon frame. And I'm still searching for a name, his or her name. But if you have any ideas, put it down in the comments. So in the last few weeks I'm spending a significant amount of time trying to figure out what I'm going to take with me on the tour and what to leave. So the most difficult thing began. I need to find out what I'm taking on the tour with me. Basically because I move completely on the bike, I tend to take too much, or at least I think right now I put too much out. My approach is I take everything I want to take and see how it fits, and then I reduce basically everything not essential. I divide it in different categories like insulation, sleeping setup, hygiene, all the electronics for making the videos. I also wanted to take some running shoes, or at least normal shoes. And yeah, this is my bags that I will take. I have basically one saddlebag with I think 14 liters. I have one 12-liter front roll, 2 forks with each one I think 5 liters, one bag, I don't know exactly where this fits yet, and 2 small rolls with like 3 liters, plus 2 smaller bags that are currently mounted on the bike. That's everything I have, plus one backpack, but it's mainly filled with the laptop because of course I still need to cut videos, so I need to take the laptop. I feel a little bit overwhelmed. It's I don't know how to start.
One eternity later.
What actually looks like controlled chaos is just pure chaos. I had the success, I managed to pack everything that I wanted to, but the problem is it's too heavy. I actually thought that the total weight of my bike can handle is 120 kilos with everything, so with my weight, all the stuff I have, and the weight of the bike, but apparently it's only 110. So I decided I will go to 115, that should hold it, but I need to reduce a lot. So I unpacked everything again, I will go through it and I completely reduce on the bare minimum. I'm now at the moment where the first time I don't think it's possible to completely move on the bike, and also this moment when I'm thinking, do I make the right thing? But I don't know. Good. Let's see. First aid kit I don't need, I will not get injured. That's one item. 2 days I did basically nothing else than packing, waiting, removing things, packing, removing things and waiting again. The positive news is everything fitted. I have what I call lovely the S rocket. Here a small bag, here a bag for the GoPro, 1 liter of water, Here I think is underwear, I'm not sure. Then one side bag, and in front another side bag, and here the down one. Everything fitted, I reduced massively. Good, let's wait. $119.8. That's actually a limit. So I can use it until 110, I think. 9 kilos too much. At least I reduced already drastically. It was before 130, I think.
At that moment I really did not know how to continue. I was pretty much at the bare minimum already. I only could reduce clothes and the size of the sleeping bag. On top of that, I was already really frustrated that the old game began again. Unpacking, reducing, packing, rating, hoping.
So by now I removed things to the really bare minimum. I removed a lot of extra clothes. I removed all luxury items like a Kindle to entertain myself or extra cups and so on. And as I started to think and plan about this project, I somehow had this picture of van life in my head, and I thought I can take a lot of extra clothes with me. I can take hiking gear with me, maybe even other things. What I realize now is I was completely wrong. I cannot take anything like that with me. I cannot take the hiking gear with me. Nevertheless, what the problem is that I still need the stuff. I still need the hiking gear on the roads or on the way in order to climb the peaks. Maybe I need my diving gear if I want to make some dives. And in order to accomplish this still, I need the help of a very special person, of my dad. So here I prepare my little logistics center. Everything that I have, all the gear, is put in these boxes and categorized. Everything from hiking food to hiking gear and stuff for diving whatsoever is categorized and inventoried. The idea behind this, the same as big retail companies use like Amazon. If I need something or if I plan an adventure, I know based on inventory what I have, and based on adventure I know what I need. I prepare then the shopping list or the order, send it to my dad, and my dad knows, without being actually familiar with the different gear, where to take what and what each item is. And he sends then the stuff to me, I use it and send it back to him then, and he knows then again, based on the inventory, how to put the things back. On this note, a big thanks to my dad. Without him, this project would be doomed to fail.
As I said before, originally I wanted to take way more things with me, but somehow I am happy to get once in a while a package from the person closest to me and get a feeling of home. And to be honest, to have someone close to me involved in this project boosts my morale a lot.
Actually, I wanted to make this whole project as climate friendly and CO2 neutral as possible. Now with all these shipments and the CO2 that the shipments produce, I need to find a way to compensate for it. So I thought, if you have a good idea, a creative or cool idea, put it down in the comments and let me know what we can do to compensate for the shipments. In either case, I finally finished, after days of planning, after days of frustration and also sweat and tears, I finally have my packing list and I know what I'm gonna take with me on the tour. But before I want to show you everything, I want to make something fun and get my head free. I on purpose forced myself to do first all this annoying work, all this planning, before I actually start the fun and use the bike for the first time. So before I show you what you have to take, we will make a small bike tour, nothing special, just some afternoon ride, 100 kilometers, maybe 120, test the bike without any equipment, without any overnighter. But yeah, let's go, I'm super hyped. Oh, look how amazing green everything is. This is so beautiful.
Hey, I say, ain't no telling when you can with the cool kids where we go end up, baby, and you know this, hoping that you see me, knowing that I see you too. You get me feeling like like a rock star, riding in a fast car with a pretty lady on the side of me. Feeling like a rock star, riding in a fast car, on top of the world where I'm supposed to be. Got me feeling like a rock star, riding in a fast car with a pretty lady on the side of me. Feeling like a rock star.
It's amazing. Beautiful sunset. I have around 19 kilometers left, 20 actually. And it gets dark in half an hour, so perfect sunset light. It's amazing. And with this bike, it's like, even if it's like super windy like now, because it's so lightweight, it's actually really nice to make speed. So this 1 month I spent in Lisbon before I went to Austria to pick up the bike was actually really busy. As I left the Canary Islands, I of course got my memory tattoo, which was a really amazing work. And then I came back to Lisbon and it was really one thing after one thing. First I arrived, I had to deal with the landlord, make sure that the handover is arranged and so on. Then I had all this stuff in my apartment. Half of it I stored in like a storage room that I rented, and the other half I simply sold, like my TV, all these kind of things. I got rid of it because I also used the money to buy all the equipment for the bike. And then also while I was in Lisbon, I decided to make a diving course, the rescue diver, which was actually really difficult because in these 4 weeks accommodating this as well, but it was hell of a fun. Finally, after I handed over the apartment, after everything worked out with a lot of drama, a lot of last minute things, I arrived in Vienna. So the big loadout, this is basically everything that you see right now is everything that I'm gonna take with me up to the last underwear. Everything is packed to start the tour. But the bike, as I said in the beginning, is from Rose Bikes, the Backroad with carbon frame. I really love this bike. It's amazing to use it and to bike around with it. The big downside for me is simply that the weight limit is up to 110 kilos. Compared to other gravel bike, they go normally until 120, 130. This would be, of course, nice because because of my size, already quite heavy. But yeah, it is what it is. Nevertheless, amazing bike. The gear is from Shimano, the GRX with 2x11. It's more than enough for me. I on purpose took a 2x11 and not just 1x11 because I love gearing around and I love to try out different settings. With the cockpit, I have from Garmin the Edge 1030 Plus, which has also an additional power bank under it, simply because I will use it all the time and I want to charge it constantly. I have also from Varia product or a company from Garmin, I have a light that's connected to the bike computer so I can set it up over the bike computer. Same light of course also on the back side. The nice thing on the back light is it's also a radar, so I see if the cars oncoming or coming next to me and how close they are. Obviously it's not replacing the mandatory look over the shoulder, but it's still very helpful, especially to see what's going on. I have here one bag where I have some water there, which I drink on the go. The water bottle is 750 milliliters. And additional to that, I also have from Fitlock a water holder that is mounted on the bottom, but right now I don't have a bottle. I will use just regular PET or plastic bottles. Then from the bags I have a front roll, I have two fork bags, and here I have a down tube bag and a top tube bag, and on the back I have the saddle bag, which I lovely call S-Rocket, and lastly I have one down tube bag. Additionally, I actually wanted also to have a bag in front of the roll, because I need to reduce weight and also reduce stuff that I need to take with me. It was no capacity, so I left it home. The hat I have from Sina, the R2 helmet, which is a really nice helmet because it has integrated light. So in case this light gets off or if I want to have some extra visibility, I can just turn the light here on. And a really nice feature about this helmet, and you can call me geek, but I love it, is it has a microphone and some speakers. The speakers are working that basically only you can hear what you play, like music or whatsoever. And compared to regular earphones, you still hear your whole surroundings, so it doesn't disturb. Last but not least, I sadly have also this bag, a backpack. I personally hate biking with backpacks, but I need to have it because in there is my laptop, which has 16-inch and therefore doesn't fit in any other bag. The next thing is that we look inside of the bags. Every bag has a different theme, so a different category of what is in it. For example, sleeping setup, food supply, and so on. Let's start with the front row. In the front row, all my sleeping setup is there. I decided to go for a hammock for the reason that I can also work, first of all. Second of all, I sleep personally best in a hammock. And lastly, I can also use it as a tent if I put a tarp around me, if in case it rains or there's very strong wind. So I thought it's the most versatile one and the most versatile sleeping setup I can choose. The next bag is my favorite. It's I think the cutest bag. It's the down tube here. It's 1.8 liters, but I can store some smaller items. So let's take a look. Inside of the down tube I have some smaller things that fit in a small bag. Firstly, I have my, what I call lovely, the S cream. It's basically just an oily cream that ensures you don't get any irritation. Every biker probably knows it. The better you want to bike, the more you need to cream. It simply helps if you put some of this cream on the padded underwear and also between the S cheeks to ensure that, as I said, that you don't get any irritation. Let's go to the next bag, which is the S Rocket, or the saddle bag, how it's actually called. Inside there I have mainly closers. It's easy to reach, so in case I need to stop, change t-shirt or whatsoever, I can just open here and reach into it. But let's look exactly what's in there. In this bag I have mainly my closers. Additional to the closers, I also have my knife that I can also use for batoning. In this bag, as I said, there are all my closers. Good, let's go into the last two bags, the front bags. Let's start with the left one and let's look what's in there. This bag is completely under the category of Hungry George. It's my food supply. Additional to the hobo cooker, I decided to also go for a gas cooker. The reason why I took both hobo cooker and gas cooker is because I want to avoid that I need to buy constantly new gas. And also, if you know me from my previous adventures, I simply love the hobo cooker and it's just a nice thing to have. I have a really small gas cooker which takes almost no weight, so it's not a big problem. Lastly, in this bag I also have two pots, one big, one small. The small one I can also use as a cup, but if I make something like tea or coffee, it's nice to have a smaller one. And with the big one I can make noodles, maybe couscous and so on. Let's look in the second fork bag. In this bag I have the sleeping bag, which is from Carinthia, the G90. I am a bit worried that it might be too hot, especially since I'm a cold sleeper. So I will make a test tour very soon and I will try the sleeping bag and I see how I feel. If it's a bit too hot, then I will downgrade it. Additional to that, I have in this bag from Stoic a trouser, which is a long trouser that I can use for the biking. It's actually made for biking. It's also a bit of water resistant, so in case it rains, I can avoid getting completely wet. That leaves us with the last two bags. Let's take a look at the last two bags, the top tube and the down tube. There are a lot of small things that I take with me and that I also want to reach quite easily. Eventually also my phone will be in there, but let's take a deeper look. What I have in there is basically, all small things that I didn't know where to fit else. I have a flashlight, which is from Pets, so the RGB, which you probably know from my videos already. Then I have a fire steel. Additionally, I have a small knife. Then I have my sunglasses. Then I have there my GoPro case. In this GoPro case are two GoPros and also a small DJI camera. And then all sorts of cables that I need to have and also a small power bank. That's my tech case. And the last thing, my backpack. Let's take a quick look there. Inside there I have first of all the running shoes. These running shoes are supposed to be also actually my street shoes. Lastly, my big laptop, 16-inch. It's quite heavy, but it is what it is. I need to have it. I want to make videos for you. I need to cut them, and as I said, I really want to share this whole adventure with you, so there's no way around it, and I really need to have this laptop. This is everything I take. It's very minimalistic, especially from the closers. I'm a bit worried if I would need more. But I, on purpose, also want to not go into this trap that I think, oh, maybe I need this as fallback or this as fallback. Really want to have at least weight as possible. I'm now quite happy with the packing list. I will make very soon a test tour for 2-3 days where I take exactly this stuff with me, see how it works, see if I'm happy with it, and if I want to change anything. If I do, of course, I will let you know.
Directly at the gates of Vienna lies a majestic, huge forest, the Vienna Forest. The forest not only offers the Viennese directly in front of the city a possibility to enjoy the nature. No, this forest also has a significant importance for the climate in Vienna. The wind that usually comes from the direction of the Vienna Forest brings with it cool and clean air, cooling the city during the hot summer months and ensuring a better air quality all year long. Many Viennese use the forest for outdoor activities, from mountain biking to running. I will use the forest for another important and special training.
The helmet is on the start. One important part of the training in this week and also the upcoming weeks is the part of climbing. A lot of mountains have either Via Ferrata or Via climbing parts in it. So I got a new equipment and today I'm going to train just a simple Via Ferrata to test the equipment, get used to it and also get trust in the equipment. We're here now in Lower Austria, close to Vienna, very close. And there should be a Via Ferrata small one.
Via Ferrata is an Italian word meaning iron pass. This special way of climbing has its origin in the First World War. These routes were built first in the Dolomites in Italy to help to get men and equipment into strategic positions in the mountains. A Via Ferrata is basically a climbing route that employs steel cables, rungs or ladders fixed to the rock, to which the climber affix a harness with 2 leashes, which allows climbers to secure themselves to the metal fixture and limit any fall. Because of the safety, this allows climbers on the otherwise dangerous routes without the risk of an unprotected scrambling or climbing, or the need for technical climbing equipment. Regular rock climbing or mountaineering requires special equipment and higher skills, and Via Ferrata offers an alternative to climb difficult peaks. Especially in Central Europe, many summits can only be reached via Via Ferrata. Personally, I prefer rock climbing, but this kind of climbing also makes a lot of fun, and you need way less equipment with you. But now, the mountain, or actually the Via Ferrata is calling, so let's go.
I finished for today. I went up and down a couple of times. It was a nice training and I really liked the equipment, so it was a lot of fun. But I think it's getting a pattern. Every time I make something outdoor, it seems lately I end up walking in the dark. So it's now almost 9, so the sun is already down and I'm using the last light to walk and back down. But it was really a lot of fun. I can't wait for the first mountain where I have the real situation, like to use the Ferrata kit, and then the next step is also to train on the climbing equipment. While I'm walking back home, or back to the start where I can take something home, I thought I'd use the time and talk with you a bit about the upcoming mountains and also for which mountain I will actually need to use the Ferrata kit. One of the first mountains that I will climb is in Slovenia, Triglav, and the summit that I want to do on Triglav includes at the end, I think pretty much on the top, quite long, quite difficult Ferrata. At least I made some basic research so far, and yeah, for this I bought the new equipment and tested it a bit. As I said, it went perfectly and I'm ready for Triglav. I think it will be a lot of fun. And there's one more thing left for this video, which is the final route, or at least the start of the final route. I want to approach it a bit more flexible. I want to have an end goal, but I want to leave a bit room for, leave it a bit open and decide on the go whether I go to a certain place, to another place, and so on. But for now, we have an end goal. This is basically my holy grail. This is a map with all the peaks of Europe, with all the mountains that I need to climb. So let's talk about the route and let's talk about this map. I want to make as many mountains as possible, and for this I want to have countries where the mountains are very close together and where the countries are also not too big, because for example biking through whole Spain or whole France will take a lot of time. So I rather concentrate my effort on making as many mountains as possible. What I already decided is to go into the south of Austria, go to Slovenia, Croatia, Bosnia, and then basically make all of the Balkan countries. And there we can make a lot of countries and a lot of mountains in a very short time. My goal there is to go to Greece, and or depending on the time even go to Istanbul. What I plan for now, the start is obviously from Austria. We will go to Hungary, we make this highest peak in Hungary, go to the south, until Slovenia, where we make them there the highest mountain, and then from Slovenia we will go to Zagreb and Croatia. And in Croatia we will not only make the mountain, I also really want to dive there, because I was researching a bit and there are some really nice dive spots. And after that, after Croatia, after we made the mountain there, which is close to Split, we go to the Balkan countries, decide also where do we go to. We either go to Serbia or rather Montenegro and Kosovo. This is something that I want to decide together with you. For this, as I always say, please join me on my Instagram. I really want to define details and this part of the road together with you. And also, if you are from one of these countries, please reach out to me. Let me know if you want to show me something. Let me know if there's something I should visit. I not only want to make speed and kilometers and peaks, I also want to learn about the traditions, learn about the people living in the countries. And now I'm really excited and I cannot wait. Basically, tomorrow is the first test tour. It's my first multi-day real test. I, of course, will take you with me. I want to share all my experiences with you and I hope you're looking forward for it. The video of it will be published as next video, so next week. And for now, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope I showed you how my weeks here in Austria look like. I hope you liked it, and if you did, as always, give a thumbs up. This supports me and my channel because it boosts the algorithm. And lastly, please subscribe to my channel if you're interested in this kind of adventure, if you don't want to miss it. And for now, I say thank you for watching and see you next week for a new adventure. Ciao, ciao.